everyone to this LinkedIn Live today with myself and Rochelle Jesse. We are here to talk to you about mastering genuine networking. Rochelle and I got together for this because we both really value being able to have a support network to not just help us, but also help other people be successful. And one of the things that we were talking about when we met was that so often networking can be misunderstood, and when we are networking, it should be about building genuine relationships. And we think networking gets a bad rap because so often sometimes it doesn't seem very genuine. So we're here to talk to you about building real genuine relationships, and that is what good networking should be, giving you some examples, tactics, not just for job searching, but also if you're building a business or a side gig, building a support network for yourself and having those mutual benefits for others as well is one of the most valuable commodities you can have in this life. So thank you everyone for being here. Rochelle, please introduce yourself.
Sure. Thanks, Lori. I'm really excited about this topic. I think we are just actually chatting. This is so relevant to any industry, whether you're someone looking for a career or you're someone that has a business looking for clients. Networking is a skill that is very universal. Everybody should know how to network no matter what you're doing or what you're looking for. I particularly partner with high achieving corporate women who want to leverage creating a high ticket coaching program to replace their 9 to 5 income. So typically, these are women in corporate, they're coaching on the side a bit, and they really want to coach full time. They want to do what they're passionate about full time. So that's what I do. And it's been wonderful connecting with you, Lori, because we met on LinkedIn and we've been networking ourselves.
Yes, yes. Yeah, Rochelle, love your posts about helping women build their business. Very like specific advice, very helpful. When I have worked with my business coach, still in connection with her, Adrienne Weimer, her scripts for networking were really transformative to help me with my sales because it was genuine connection. It really, really was. Like, if I didn't get a client out of it, that's okay. Like, I still have someone in my life who is a great person. So it's not just about making money, getting a job interview, right? Oh, well, I built a real relationship, right? And there is value in that, whether you're getting something or not.
Yeah.
And I think that's where a lot of people get hung up is like, oh, I feel like I'm asking for something. Even if I'm reaching out in a genuine way, my ultimate goal is to get an interview or get a client. It's like, but if you don't, that's okay. Like if you're genuinely networking and you don't get something, then that's okay. If you're taking a genuine approach to it, like I'm legitimately trying to create a relationship with this person, hopefully I get a job interview, hopefully like this could be a good fit for a client, but if not, right, I can still introduce them to other people. I, have someone in the long term who we're continually supporting each other. If you're able to engage in other people's posts and consistently support them on LinkedIn, like people really, really appreciate that because it expands their reach. So that's what you want too, right? Most people who are trying to build a network of support for themselves, right? You should be doing those mutual things that you would want them to be doing for you, right? Golden rule, right? There's
Yeah.
also that platinum rule where do how they want to be treated, but overall, like if you're going to use the golden rule when it comes to networking, give as much as you want to take too, right? And you're not taking, but give as much as, you would want to be given to. That's a better way to put it.
Yeah, and I think you said it perfectly before too. It's not about going into networking with this expected outcome of like I'm going to talk to this person and I hope they get me a job or I hope they get me an interview or a business opportunity. It's going into it thinking about what opportunities can exist from this relationship for both of us.
Mm-hmm.
How can it be mutually beneficial in a way where we can support each other? It could turn into a client, it could turn into a job, it could turn into an interview, but when you go in with that expected outcome in mind, you don't even enjoy the process. And that's where I think networking feels kind of icky because you feel like you are using people to get something. versus seeing how you can mutually really benefit from each other and support each other in whatever both of your goals are.
Yeah. So when it comes to job searching, depending on the industry, 40 to 80% of job offers come from referrals and about 2% come from applying online, depending on the industry. So if you're going to use data in your decision making when it comes to job searching, then networking is so essential to getting you results, getting you interviews and offers, because there is so much speed and trust. Just like if you get a referral from a previous client or someone, even if they weren't a client, but they're like, you would be great to work with my friend, and they refer you, they're so much more likely to say yes because there's already safety in that relationship. Someone else has already said this is a great person, and therefore there's that familiarity, and our brain is always looking to keep us safe. That's its number one priority. So if you can make yourself as familiar as possible through referrals, then the more likely people will want to spend more time with you.
Yeah. I mean, even if you think about it from a consumer perspective, when you need housework done or car work done, instead of Googling, what do? You ask your friends and family, do you know someone? Right? Like, and it's
100%.
like, that's always the first, because you want that, you want that trust where it's like, hey, if somebody's already worked with this person, they trust them. They're not going to send someone to me that they don't trust can help me. So yeah, it definitely expedites that buying and that decision making process for somebody when they already are, they've been vetted. They've been
Yeah.
vetted by somebody before you.
Yeah. So for you think vetted as like something that's like higher level enterprise type of language, but 100% like, hey, I need a new hairdresser. I just moved to Arizona. Like I was asking for referrals just recently because I moved here. And that is that's exactly what I did. Like I asked other people, I was like, oh my gosh, your hair looks so pretty today. Oh, thanks. I just got it done. Where do you go? Right? Because we need people who we can trust, and it's so much easier when we can feel comfortable with those people providing us services in the first place.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we had mentioned before just in our own conversation, Lori, it can be such an untapped population. Like I think when people are job searching or they're in business and they're looking for clients or collaborators, the initial thought is, let me go find these new people
Yeah.
somewhere online, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, but really starting within your own network and branching out is a wonderful place to start, because you already have those people that know, like, and trust you. So if you're connected with someone on LinkedIn that works at a company that you might want to get into and you've chatted with this person, reach out to them first before you go finding others. Now, it doesn't always, land how you want it to, and you might need to start looking outside of your network, but it's really a great place to start. And I think more individuals would be surprised at what their own network has to offer to them. If they can't support them, they might know someone who can.
Yeah.
So it's leveraging their networks as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So for anyone who's here, feel free to drop any questions in the comments and we'll try to answer them during our call. I love having people comment, so then we can actually help with the specific questions and challenges that you're facing. So I know that sometimes it comes across as cliche, that phrase, your network is your net worth, but it is so true, right? Like the boys club, right? All of those referrals that come from that type of environment, right? Like we need ladies clubs
Yeah.
just as much, right?
Yeah.
And I find that there's more and more women's groups coming together. Like I literally just saw a post yesterday of a connection of mine, like saying, hey, I want to form a group. I have some other women who are like sharing this with me, but we really want to find out what other women want and need from each other so we can go about doing this really, really well. So I just see more and more of that happening. It's just interesting that sometimes that phrase turns people off. So I'd love to hear like your insights on, from your perspective, like the value in that principle and where it comes from and how to implement
Yeah.
it.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, your network really is your net worth for so many different reasons. First of all, when you have any type of goal, again, whether it's job searching or it's in business, when you're able to leverage your network, you're also leveraging their network as well. And I kind of just had mentioned that quickly before, but if you think about it, personal networks, professional networks, you already have these individuals that are invested in supporting you in one way or another, right? So they know, like, and trust you. They want to see you win. They want to see you get that job. They're more likely to do some extra work to help you with your goals than someone that you might be messaging for the first time on LinkedIn, Instagram, and so on. So it's just that extra effort that your own network and the network that they have will really put out for you in helping to support you in whatever goal you have. And
Mhm.
it's continuously building, right? If you are in the professional world, if you're in the business world, you want to always be growing this network. So you have this unlimited potential of individuals to tap into. When you have questions, you want to collaborate, you're looking for support, and vice versa, right? You have something to offer them as well. But when you don't have that network, that's where it's all of like, you're not getting the referrals in, you're not seeing the job opportunities or people reaching out to you when they think something's a good fit for you. So it's a lot of you putting in more effort for yourself than having this group of people that's also there to support you and putting in some effort because they're seeing the value that you provide as well.
Yeah, 100%. Thank you, Robin. So good to see you here. I really find that like that attitude that people have about networking is one of those challenges that people face. Um, like that mindset is what holds them back so frequently. Like part of my packages for job seekers is includes networking scripts for communicating with decision makers and people who can influence your ability to get an interview or get hired. And like when I talk about networking, that like people are so frequently turned off, or they're like, yeah, I want to do that, but like I don't know if like I'm okay doing it. It's like, well, my approach is not going to be something that people feel uncomfortable with. Like it's genuinely connecting and creating real relationships. And I also emphasize, like you have, it's not just reaching out to people you don't know yet. You're also going to be leveraging your network and, as you mentioned, their network also. So the more you can expand your reach, all the better.
Yeah. It's funny. I almost like compare that to like DMs. Like, right, people are like networking in DMs. People are like, oh, I don't really know if I can do it. I don't know if I can be good at that. But it's all relationship building when it comes down to it. Right. Like
Mhm.
networking is relationship building. And again, I think with the attitude piece of it, where people are like, I don't know if I could, I don't know if I should, I don't know if I'll be good at it. It's because they come with that expected outcome in the forefront where they're like, this is what I want, so it already doesn't feel great for me to do this. So I don't think I can be good at it. And when
Mhm.
you release that expected outcome and you go into it thinking, I see an opportunity to have a mutually beneficial relationship with this person. Let's see where it leads to if I start this conversation. It feels more authentic. It feels better. And it doesn't feel like, gosh, I hope I'm not going to waste my time, or I hope they don't get mad at me, because you're not going in with that intention. You're really going in looking at what opportunities exist.
Right. You show up so differently if you have a different expected outcome in the first place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Um, so when we're having conversations with people, for example, in the DMs, or we're reaching out to people we already know, how do we get out of that mindset of changing from, oh, I have an expected outcome to, I'm going to create a mutually beneficial relationship with this person. Let's see if, there's something that we can offer each other. If it ends up that there is, all the that's great. That's great. But
Yeah.
it doesn't necessarily have to be that mindset right at first. How do you transform that for your clients?
Yeah, for the approach that we take, and I'm sure it's probably similar to you as well, Lori. It's finding commonalities, right? Like you're not going to message someone and just be like, "Hey, Lori, I saw you're a senior manager. I'm looking for a job. Like, are you hiring or can I get an interview?" Right? You're
Mhm.
looking for commonalities that you have with somebody and you're starting there. And it could be like if I'm thinking job search wise, it could be industries. Hey, Lori, I've spent time in the HR field for 10 years as well. And,
Right.
I really enjoy doing these activities. How has it been for you? It's starting from a place of truly building a relationship. You're not asking for anything yet. You're not looking for information as to how they might help you. You're just first finding if there's a commonality to build a relationship from.
Right.
That's really the starting point.
Hmm. Finding as much common ground as possible is like one of those top aspects of networking that I implement. Because everything that I do is backed up by scientific evidence, like sales psychology, and so many other principles, but specifically with networking, those type of psychological principles are so essential, because if you've ever like gotten a DM like join my MLM and they're like pitching you immediately, or someone, for example, both us as coaches, we probably, I imagine you frequently get similar messages to me where like, hey, I'm a VA, or we do marketing for coaches. If we could get you 15 to 20 appointments per week, would you want to work with us? Like didn't even you didn't even like see if that's what I need. Like you have no idea where I am in my business. You have no idea if what I have to offer you, or if my lifestyle fits that expectation or my needs. You're just immediately making a ton of assumptions, which is really easy to do these days because we've chosen to put a lot of information out there, right? If you're on LinkedIn, then we have a whole profile telling you about us. And okay, but you still don't know me.
Yeah.
There's still lots more to who we are than just what we communicate on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So knowing more detail and sincerely getting to know someone, that is where real mutual benefit and connection happens. So our fight or flight response really turns on when someone immediately tries to sell to us. So we're immediately just like, no, no. It's like a very like 80s approach to sales. That was kind of how they did it back then. And now they have a completely different like sales psychology, people who are like top their field teaching sales psychology. It's all about helping people feel safe. So then they're able to make a decision that is mutually beneficial for both parties if it's a good fit, because it's not just going to be about one party, it's about both of them. And best salespeople and networkers understand that. And it's not just one sided. And the best person of influence is always the person that another feels safe with. If you can follow that principle throughout your life, you will be so much more influential. If a person feels comfortable with you, they are much more likely to listen and be persuaded and continue to spend time with you. And
Mm-hmm.
if you have more people spending time with you, that means more influence.
No, 100%. And, it's all relationship building. That adds to comfort, that adds to feeling safe. And there's nothing more infuriating than those assumptive messages about like you said, I get them every day. Hey, Rochelle, do you want to hit 5 figures a month? And I'm like, I'm already I'm good there. Like, how would you assume that I'm not? Right. It triggers like that response of just being a little angry that somebody's just making these assumptions. And it is easy to do because of the information that's put out there, but it is a surefire way today to not get connected with somebody. Whether
Mhm.
you're looking to get a sale, a job, whatever it may be, that is not the way to do it. And when you can do this right, like the ways you mentioned, like sales psychology, relationship building, building off of commonalities, you stand out because so many people are doing it wrong. Like
Uh-huh.
I get messages where people are like, wow, this was actually a refreshing message to get. Like, and I'm like, wow, that's kind of sad, but I'm happy that that's how you felt.
Yeah.
But it's done so poorly today that when you do it right and you go in with the right intentions, people notice that
Yeah.
catches attention and you will get much farther.
Yeah, one of the things that I'll ask on a call is like, what inspired you to get on our call today? If I am doing like a free session for someone, or like they want to see if my services are a good fit, asking them that like very open-ended question. It's like sometimes their answer pretty frequently is, well, you sent a voice note and I never had someone do that before. Or like, I just felt like we really had a connection and we have similar values and beliefs. And so like there's that commonality and there's like genuine connection. Like I took the time to send a voice note and there's more emotion and people can sense more of our like verbal and nonverbal cues when people can hear our tone of voice. Like they get to know us more personally. So the more you can warm people up to feel comfortable with you before you even get on a call, all the better. And they also frequently mention like, well, it just seemed like we were just like genuinely connecting, because one of the top things that I frequently say when I'm connecting with someone is I'm a firm believer that when women support women, everyone wins. And I've never had anyone say that they disagree with that. Because I mostly help women. I do help men. I have testimonials from men. So if I am sending a connection request to a man, I'll simply say like, I'm a firm believer that when people support each other, we all win, right? But so like one of the things that I hear women struggle with is like there's sometimes cattiness in the workplace or women just competing with each other. And so having other women who just genuinely support each other, like no backhanded comments, just I love you, you're amazing, you're a badass, and I'm here to support you type of energy. Like people want that, no matter their gender, race, whatever. People just want genuine support. And so if you can create that type of message where you're creating that commonality of belief, of values, of even something less, excuse me, less nuanced, like industry, right? If you're in the same industry, or you're like, if you both worked at the same company, right? Those are more specific, less nuanced. Just anything that says we are similar creates that safety and comfort that people are constantly seeking.
Yeah. And I think it also, we're in such a world of like automation, right? Like like those automated messages getting sent that are so robotic, that the person didn't send them. So when you find the commonalities, you express them. When you send voice memos, again, it's just refreshing. It's not like the surefire way for anyone watching to know if someone's sending you an automatic response, like it's set up on the back end, is if you accept a request and boom, it's like immediately in your inbox, you get a message from someone like within 1 second. That's like the
If they
best.
didn't send a connection, or if they didn't send a message with it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So if they didn't send it and it's like just keyed up to like be sent right away, that's like an instant way to know that that was just an automatic response that was sent out to you. And people, especially on LinkedIn, there's so much of it happening. Again, when you can do it right, you stand out. Hiring
Mhm.
managers, business owners, everyone in all different industries are bombarded with the automatic, responses, the very generic, messages that they probably copy and paste to everybody they come across. So just spending a couple extra minutes and really looking at this person for who they are and the information you have available to you, and noting that in your message and making it known that you took that time, it makes a big difference.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't do it on purpose in order to filter automated messages like that, but because there's not an option for like a middle initial or middle name on LinkedIn, so I put Lori T. Potts, and Lori T. is like the first name essentially. So if someone sends me an automated message, then it always says Lori T. So I always know, instead of someone saying, "Hey, Lori," because who said, no one's gonna say, "Hey, Lori T," like if they're
Yeah.
sending a real message.
Yeah.
Um,
That's a great
so
way for you to know, Lori.
it is. Like I said, I didn't do it with that intention. I just like how my name looks and sounds like that. But Yeah, if you're ever wanting, if you have a hard time filtering those and you really want to know like who's genuinely connecting with you, it's a great way to do it.
That's I never thought about that method, but and even without it, Lori, I'm sure that you could see those messages and just know that it's
Yeah.
just like it was so no thought was put into it.
Hmm.
And networking is about intention. It's not about casting this wide net to just everybody out in the LinkedIn world to see who bites, right? It's really about being very intentional with who you're trying to network with, knowing that there's a mutually beneficial relationship that you both can provide value to one another. And you have to do some digging. You got to do some research. And when you're reaching out to people, you might as well take that research you did and personalize that for them, make
Hmm.
it meaningful so they do want to respond and connect.
Yeah. And entrepreneurship and job searching, both of those things can be really lonely.
Yeah.
So, like, sincerely being there for other people, be like, yeah, this shit is hard. Like, I know it and you know it. So, like, I'm here for you, right? Like, we can help each other.
I think
Um,
we actually said that in our first like voice memos. We were like, man,
Probably.
this is really tough. Things
Yeah.
don't always go well.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, and when I'm connecting with other coaches or consultants, like there's always something that we both like resonate with, because being in a similar boat, being an entrepreneur in whatever capacity, right? There's similar challenges there. There's those commonalities. So the more we can connect in those ways, all the better. So we are about out of time. But Rochelle, is there anything you want to share with our audience before we part?
I think my last tip, and I know I've said it a couple of times, but it's really something that I try to drive home with my audience, my clients, and people in my network. Again, don't go into these things with an expectation. Go into it thinking there's an opportunity that could exist with this person, and I don't know what that might be. I have some ideas maybe, but let's see how this goes. That is my biggest tip for networking. You can't lose, and you also can't be disappointed when you
Yeah,
go into it that way.
yeah, 100%. Um, so when you're networking, don't feel like you are constantly trying to ask for something. It's not
Mhm.
sleazy. You are both benefiting from you reaching out. So be willing to do the work for job searching, for entrepreneurship. Other people are going to be willing to help you way more than you think. Just like you're like, oh yeah, of course I'd be willing to like help someone who I know find a job or get more clients who you have a relationship with. And people are more willing to help than you might think. So
Yeah.
um, take the I wouldn't say the risk, but like be willing to put yourself out there, get out of your comfort zone. Because like I said, people are more willing, and it's easier than you might think.
Mhm.
And like we said, start with those people who you already know. So I right now am offering a special 12-month payment plan. It was supposed to end today, but I am extending it for another 7 days. So anyone who wants to work with me, if you schedule within the next few weeks with me to learn about my programs, then I will honor that 12-month payment plan option for you for either my job search program or for my job or for my internal advancement program, the Secret Confident Communication Code for Career Driven Women. And the payment plans are less than $200 a month for whichever type of program and level you choose. So it's more affordable than ever before. So if you are struggling in your job search or wanting to advance yourself internally at your organization or just build your confidence as an entrepreneur, then please feel free to reach out. I would love to talk with you to see if my programs are a fit. Rochelle, anything else you want to share?
Yes, that sounds amazing. First of all, Lori, that's an amazing program. For any of you who are coaches, which I know, Lori and I, we share a big network of coaches. If you are somebody who is in the corporate setting, or maybe you've already left and you are not hitting the monthly income goals that you have, you might feel like you've plateaued and you're not able to hit that next level. I am currently offering until Sunday, you just have to book a call with me till then, a discounted investment to join my 12-month academy, where we really help partner with you on messaging to make sure you're attracting clients that you want to work with, on offer creation, particularly high ticket programs where you really only need 1 to 2 clients per month to easily hit $10,000, $15,000 and really reach that monthly income goal you may have. And then also client attraction and sales strategies. We have a sales coach that does weekly office hours for our clients. They do a monthly sales training. We also have a mindset coach that all clients have access to, and me as the primary business coach giving feedback on everything you're doing. So we're really a full package when it comes to scaling your coaching side hustle into a full-time business. And I'd love to chat with any of you that have that goal right now.
Amazing. That sounds like all of the pieces, honestly, that like a coach or consultant would need to expand their business and make it really successful. Thank you everyone for joining us today. And thank you, Rochelle, for joining me and making this happen. I know networking can be a challenge for a lot of people, and it's been a challenge for us as we've grown our businesses and when we worked in corporate. So we understand the nuances and the roadblocks that we frequently have with our mindset and specific tactics in regards to networking. So feel free to reach out to any of us. And thank you everyone for joining us. We hope you have a fabulous weekend coming up.
Thank you.